Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, June 30th, 2020 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is check my motivation and take nurturing, compassionate action. Whew! So we are in the midst of our second eclipse corridor. We just had the exact conjunction of Pluto and Jupiter in Pallas. We're one day out from Jupiter retrograding back into Capricorn. We have the Sun conjunct Mercury today. And today, let's just start here. In the cards, we have the Thunderbolt. And this could be from many various vantage points in the astro, thinking, okay, where is this thunderbolt coming from? I want to start, I think, with that Mercury Sun conjunction, as well as Mars. Mars in Aries, Mars has moved to 1 degree. So Mars in Aries, through the next 6 months of Mars in Aries, there will be reactive energies, knee-jerk reactions from our wounding, from our personal point of passion, desire, from various motivation standpoints. Now today, we may have emotional reactive energies, and this may be based on something that is truth, or it may be based on stories. One of the things that I always it's so funny how the chart is forming right now. I always tell people with third house moons, which I have, to check what your mind is telling you. Tune in to what's going on the mental level, because you're then going to start feeling it on the feels level. And once you bring the stories to the emotion level, then we can get kind of reactive. Also, once we feel something, it becomes real to us. So whether the story is real or not, once it hits that level, it becomes real to us. So awareness of this is very important, as the Sun and Mercury, it's not a third house moon, but it's akin to that energy. As the Sun, I said the Sun and the Moon, Sun and Mercury are conjunct today. You are going to think the thing, and you're going to have like instant feel of the thing, and then Mars, now at 1 degree Aries, is going to want to react based on whatever this thing is. So be very aware of that. Also, feeding into that reaction energy, that's my Scorpio tail. We have the moon actually in Scorpio, and the chart I have pulled up, it's in the 3rd house. So there you go. Moon in Scorpio can feed into that energy. In fact, the moon in Scorpio will be trining, so that's supportive energy, that Mercury-Sun connection. Now, this also may have you reacting from what feels like a survival standpoint. It may feel very important to you. In fact, I feel like a lot of what's going on in this world right now does feel very like reaction from a survival standpoint. Oh my gosh, they're going to take my power away. Oh my gosh, they're going to take my rights away. Oh my gosh, they're going to do this. I'm not saying if they are or not, but we have a lot of that coming up. And I feel like that may be part of this Sun-Mercury connection. I feel like some of these energies that are coming up are from past lives, are ancestral, and are from times when this has happened. Again, regardless of whether that is happening or not, we carry multiple instances of that, and once we have like a history of it, we're like, oh, history's repeating. Not this time. I'm going to react. But sometimes the reaction just feeds the fire. So do be aware of this. Part of what we really want to be vigilant of is tuning into our own authority, our own power, not from the wounded place, but from our deeper connected, intuitive place to help guide us through these energies. Saturn preparing to move back into Capricorn, retrograde back into Capricorn tomorrow. This is important. Saturn in Aquarius is like, oh, I do promise you there is such a bright future for you, and like, hold the vision, hold the knowing, hold the hope. It's like the star card, which I do not have today. We just get Thunderbolt energy. Thunderbolts, shot / tower energy. But still, there is this bright future. Now, we've got to have Saturn retrograde back into Capricorn to deal with the physical, to still go through some structures, some energies that are still standing that take us away from, again, this bright future energy. Now, part of this too, what we're looking at is where this patriarchal energy feeds into us. That's part of the work that we've all got to do, is where are we upholding these structures that are actually shadow structures, or actually power debilitating, or victim structures, or what's the right word for here? What is the right energy to feed into this feeling? These energies that we've upheld, that maybe at one time served, or maybe at one time did not serve, but because they are so comfortable, we're still upholding those energies. So we've all got to feel through in our awareness, in our shadows, that energy. Shadow work, it is major. It is very important at this time. So just be aware of that. And I feel like that's part of the energies. I almost feel like that may be where we're reacting from, whether it's the wounding of the shadow, or the fear of the shadow coming up, or even the fear, like, of the ego, of the unwinding that comes with it. I'm feeling a lot of that, this energy. Oofta, so much. The moon in Scorpio, like I said, can be very reactive. It is protective. It is protective from that survival place. It is protective of what it sees as your power, whether it is your power or not. So again, if you feel that reaction coming up, whether you can stop the reaction or not, looking later, okay, where did that come from? Doing that digging, that is so important right now, and will just support your process. Moon opposite Uranus, getting grounded. Every time I see Uranus energy, I'm like, just get grounded, because that's really going to support you. Uranus energy with the strong mental energy could also, like, it could trigger your mind. It could trigger some worth issues within there, again, which can trigger this. Get grounded. Get grounded with yourself. Like, wake up process, connect into the earth, know your worth, connect into spirit, ask for support from your higher guidance today. That will all help support you through these energies. Like I said, moon connecting in to the sun and to Mercury energy. Oof, sun square Chiron. Ooh, which means the moon in conjunct Chiron energy. Interesting. This is a day to look at our shadows. And again, one of the other things that's up is power and control. If you see power and control stuff coming up, again, this may be a place to do some of the digging to help release, help support yourself in and through these energies. You know, it's funny, I have the courage card in reverse, the strength card, but I feel like we're digging deeper into the heart of the matter. That's what I'm kind of feeling with these energies. And with it, I have the ordinariness card. Sorry for the snores in the background. The ordinariness card is, there are good things in here. I always say this quote, but it bears repeating. The cave you fear to enter is where your treasure lies. It's not quite right, but Joseph Campbell. These shadow energies, these wounds, these control things, these places where you may feel like victim or victimized, look there. There is light there. There's light at the bottom of these, like, sludgy tunnel stories, past life, ancestral energies. There is light in there to be unfolded. It's not going to be comfortable. This is Sun Square Chiron. The healing process is rarely comfortable. In my experience of the healing process, it has been going to those places, and the willingness to go there, and the willingness to feel, the willingness to be uncomfortable, the willingness to cry, the willingness to be alone in your shit. Just for lack of a better term, just to be able to sit in there. it is of the utmost importance. And today feels like one of those days, but you don't have to believe the stories, because I think sometimes the stories, you're worthless, you should have done better, you're not enough, all of those stories that we tell ourselves, they aren't true. Be aware of those. You don't have to feel those stories. What we want to do is feel, where are these origins? Pick those roots, throw that out. No more. No more. That is not part of the future, but it is part of the old structures that have to be dealt with, that the old things that are no longer the old power. These are power suckers that are no longer going to be part of what you're building. Mercury connecting to Uranus. Brilliance on the other side of the fear, but also I feel like it feels overstimulating. Overstimulated mind racing. Oh my God, should I listen to this? Should I listen to that? If you find yourself going there, again, go talk to the squirrels. Squirrel is my nature here. We have a tree outside the balcony, and the squirrel was yelling at me and the cats today. Not yelling. Squirrels don't yell. It was scolding us in squirrel language. But get outside in nature. Reset if you find yourself spinning too much. But today is a day where those stories, they definitely could come up. And again, I feel like there's definitely a really strong worth piece coming into that. Sun conjunct Mercury will be happening later in the evening. So watch for those mental spikes coming up. And again, you don't have to believe everything that you think. Be mindful, stay ahead of your monkeys. And then the sun connecting to Uranus late in the evening. You may feel overstimulated. Going to sleep may be difficult. Even if you can't sleep, go connect in, meditate, don't medicate, meditate. You could medicate, I mean, if that's what works for you. My personal favorite medications, oils, stones, herbs. Homeopathic medicine, there's a great one for the nervous system. But drop in for yourself. And if you are overthinking, ask spirit, okay, since I'm here, since my mind is ready to be active, what is it that I need to know? What needs to be uncovered? What's coming up for me at this time? All right. So, that's it for today. Saturn shift tomorrow. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and stay curious. Namaste.